Hello and welcome to the Permaculture Vine Podcast, where we talk about permaculture, projects and people. My name's Cormac Harkin, and today we have Steve Kuntz with us. Welcome, Steve.
Well, thank you, Cormac. I appreciate you inviting me on.
Steve, do you want to just tell us how you started gardening and how you got introduced to permaculture?
That's a good question because I've enjoyed gardening for years. When I was a kid, my grandma gave me a cactus plant. Probably the first one I remember growing. I killed it about 40 years later. I'm kind of sad about that. But 20-some years ago, I was gardening outside, enjoying that, especially growing from seed. But 2012, a friend of mine told me about a tower garden, which is a soilless gardening system, and that you can grow indoors with it. It didn't take long for me to get hooked because I'm enjoying cutting fresh lettuce indoors in northern Indiana when the snow's flying outside. It was amazing to do that. And that really got me going on indoor gardening, learning lighting requirements, learning about nutrient requirements to grow edibles, to grow really what you normally grow outside, to grow it inside here in Indiana.
So you mentioned there, so what are the factors? You say light and nutrients. For me, growing indoors here, the problem would be humidity and mold, because Ireland's very humid.
Yeah. And here we have some humidity in the summer for a few months, but in the winters, especially because we're using heat, it's so cold outside, we need to use heat, but then the air dries out in the winter times, which can be the opposite problem because some plants like it more humid. And the environment we give it here. Yeah, so we don't really have trouble with mold indoors here in this climate.
Right. So when you were introduced to the tower garden, how did you install it yourself? Did someone else install it for you?
No, I'm a distributor for the company that sells tower gardens. So 2012, I started growing on it. 2015, then I told our local school superintendent about the tower gardens because I'd seen where schools had used them. And he got excited, got a grant for 15 tower gardens and put them in the school system. So 2015 was really when I launched the business that I run today. That's what got me started into schools, doing some teaching, not only teachers, but students. All the while, I'm doing IT for a small local nonprofit here and doing the tower garden sales on the side. So ran that up until a few years ago when my wife and I decided let's do this full time. So we added a couple other growing systems and started doing the business full time.
So how does that work then? You go into a school and install them, or you teach? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. Because the answer depends on the situation and the distance too. So I enjoy the teaching and the training, and I've seen that when I spend time with the teachers, their success rate goes up. So I'll offer to come on site to set up the tower garden and to teach basically to train the teachers how to run them, how to plant the seeds, but also how to incorporate them in their education. Usually elementary schools that will use them because the teachers are busy and they have difficulty adding something to their day. So if they're teaching math, English, science, it can all be rolled into growing in the classroom in order to incorporate into what they're already teaching. So I'll get them set up for the teachers, but there are times too when I'm invited in to actually teach the kids. And I really enjoy that because I'll go through starting seeds, building the tower garden with the kids, and teach them along the way. And then the classroom teacher usually will take over and and help them to run it for the next 6 weeks. But there have been times I've been in once a week to a classroom. That's in 6 weeks, you go from seed to harvest party with lettuce, which allows them to see the kids to see the full growing cycle, and they can learn from it too. And I was in a classroom a couple of years ago where at the end the teacher had her 5th and 6th graders give healthy eating presentations to kindergartners. So I saw these 5th and 6th graders tell their peers, eat more veggies, eat less sweets, eat less desserts, and then they served them a side salad grown on the gardening system. Just a cool way the teacher wrapped it around and helped the kids not only learn growing, but life skills as well.
Yeah, it's very important. I think they teach them how to grow. So what kind are they growing? Is it lettuce, leafy greens? What else can you grow on them?
Yeah, herbs, especially indoors, but tomatoes outdoors, then tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries. I saw a picture of a guy who grew a corn stalk out the top of one. It was trying to get any corn, but it was a fun experiment.
Yeah.
It goes really well. So.
And how do the tire systems work?
Well, it's all soilless. You just have water in the base, and then it's like a pipe that goes up where the plants come out. A pump in the base pumps the water up through the middle, comes out, washes the roots. So it's actually aeroponic growing because the roots are always in the air. Hydroponic, like the let pot over my shoulder here is hydroponic. The roots are always in the water. Aquaponic, you're going to add the fish, you're going to raise fish in the water and plants on top. If the aquaponic is balanced correctly, the fish feed the plants feed the fish. You don't have to add nutrient for either one. But with the aeroponic, then you need to have the nutrient in the water to replace what's in the soil. Indoors, you need special lights so the plants grow well. And once it's set up, they grow really good. Because once it's rolling well, then the plants get what they need, and really God takes over and grows the produce.
So where would you recommend someone start with? I think aquaponics too complicated with a fish, but hydroponics, aeroponics, how would you get someone to get started? Like, would it be I know some people start like with a Kratky style hydroponics.
Yeah. There is a smaller system, and I've had people jump straight into a tower garden, grow 20, 28 plants. They can be a little big for people. And about 6 months ago, I added Letbot, which is a countertop system. You get one that grow 5 to 21 plants. So the one over my shoulder growing sunflowers will grow 21 plants. So that's a good system to start with. It'll fit on your counter, and it's easier to run than a full tower garden would be. But they're cute. I've got the 5-pod one is here. Fit in your hand, bunch of lettuce on it. It's pretty small, so it'll fit on your counter in your kitchen. Had a college student buy one for her dorm room. She wants to grow herbs, so she really liked that.
And what's the rough price of that system you just showed me there now?
That one's $60 US.
Right, so very affordable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
So how do you start? So you germinate normally seeds in soil. How do you get the seed to germinate?
Yeah, the seeds are grown in pods. And I wonder if I can do this. The seeds are grown in pods. Should have been ready for this, huh? Here, let's do this. Hold on to your hat. There you go. The seeds are grown in pods. And the roots go down into the water, and that's how it gets the nutrient it needs.
Yeah, but how do you germinate that initial seed?
Oh, you just put it in the pod.
Oh, you just put it on the pot, and is there a medium
Yeah,
in there?
yeah, in the growing medium. Yeah, it's like growing in rock wool or other growing mediums. And I've here we go. Here, hold on a second. Let me grab this. Here's a little graph that I've done. So
Right.
you can see the growing medium there.
Yeah. Could you just explain that? This is more an audio podcast. If you could just explain that as well
Oh,
for those listening.
good point. Yeah. Okay, I'll try to explain it. I've got a cup with water in it, and then a growing pod, they call it, or a sponge. And I put the seed in the top. There's a little hole in the seed. I put that in the growing medium. I put that in the seeds in there, and then they sprout. So the roots will grow down through the growing medium and out into the water, which helps them to grow. So there's no soil to deal with, very few insects, no weeding, of course. And it can grow really well that way. The lights, then you got to want a few inches from the plant because that will help it grow the best. And the one I've got here is one, but then you might have 5, you might have 21, you might have some farms, some soilless gardening farms might have 100 or so that are the plants that are growing, whether it's vertical, which would be the aeroponic, or horizontal, which would be the hydroponic.
Yeah. So for me, say a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children. They would just they would just need that one system, wouldn't they? You would need how much space would you need for this? Or say growing some lettuce.
Yeah, the countertop, the countertop system. Well, a tower garden, you got to grow 28 plants, typically 28 plants.
28. And how much space does that take up?
30 square feet.
And that's for indoors as well?
Cubic meter, yeah. Yeah, about 3 square feet of floor space that'll take up. Fits in the corner easy enough.
Yeah. And how, are these just available in the US?
No, they're available in other countries. I should have checked Ireland here. I could check really quick and see. But there are other countries they're available in.
Yeah, so I'm in the UK. I'm in the UK part. I'm in the occupied 6 counties.
Oh, UK's no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So you started growing these in the house. What made you think of going into the schools? How did that come about?
Yeah. I'd seen reports where other schools were using them in other states, and that just gave me the idea to contact the superintendent here of Warsaw Public Schools where we live. So I dropped him an email, not really thinking he'd get back to me, but he did. We had breakfast in about 10 minutes. He was off and running with it. So that got me into the local schools here when I started the business. But I've recently, last time we was partnered with Purdue Extension educators, Purdue University. Here in the States, each of our states has a land grant college that focuses on agriculture. A wing focused on agriculture, and there is a community wellness coordinator educator position that wants to do healthy eating initiatives in local schools. So, in fact, I had a Zoom call today with a gal in the county below us who is just really passionate about helping people eat healthy. So that we've partnered really well because I'm passionate about getting and teaching and training and getting systems into schools, and she wants to see that happen in order to teach people, teach kids especially, that you know what, your food doesn't come shrink wrapped at Walmart. This is how your food is grown, and it tastes amazing when you grow it yourself. Much better than anything they eat in the cafeteria. So that's been a great partnership here in Indiana. Been partnered with a gal in Texas as well, done some in California. So a lot of initiatives God's opened up around the country for me to be involved in and to enjoy working with.
Yeah, so for the likes of myself, permaculture designer, helping people to grow food. Where would I start educate myself on undergrowing in order so I could help other people? Is it just a case of buying one and learning it?
Yeah, other than that, yeah. Um, if you were a teacher, I'd point you to a book I wrote a while back, available on Amazon, because I saw a lot of misinformation going on to teachers. So wrote a book that goes through choosing your system, goes to getting grants, goes to setting things up, and getting started correctly with it in order to help get teachers going as well. So individuals, my website has a lot of information on it. And a lot of the best way is to start small and really to let it grow. The little system that I described in the cup will help somebody learn what type of medium works well, would learn what kind of lighting is good for that, how to get things started. So the Let Pop Mini is a good place to start. Grows 5 plants, comes with instructions, and so that's a good way to get started when it's not it's not really a lot of money to get into it. Yeah,
And what do you call the make of the product that you distribute for?
There's the Tower Garden. There are actually 3 systems that I distribute for. There's a Tower Garden, Let Pot, and then Harvest Wall.
And what's your website so people can check that out?
Oh yeah, keepitwatered.com. It's a website.
Yeah, so they can go shop there. Very good. I keep meaning they do something, I guess. So I'm actually going to be renovating my garage the next year anyway. So I'm hoping they put some systems out there. So I'll definitely be looking into this.
Sure, yeah. Growing to Teach is the name of the book.
Right, Growing to Teach, great stuff.
Yeah.
And do you have a curriculum you go to, or is it just do you follow the schools? What is it? The states is a K something?
I've written curriculum that matches state standards here in the U.S., but it can easily be adapted. It's on my website. Tower Garden also has curriculum that's more science related that can work really well. There's also curriculum for sale that you can purchase through Tower Garden. That's very extensive. Goes through an 8-week program and really ties the Tower Garden growing experience into the school system.
Yeah.
What they do, yeah. So,
and do you ever get any pushback or negativity about using hydroponics or aeroponics?
Early on, I got the pushback. I don't think it'll taste as good as regular grown in soil. And that's easily dispelled by having them taste it. And just show it to them and just see it. We have a lot of farmers here in Indiana that kind of turn their noses up at it. It's like, well, that's not real farming. Some of that, but most of it is more interest and more, wow, that's kind of cool. Especially when I show them sunflowers I'm growing inside. And the uniqueness of it, of being able to grow indoors, what you normally grow outdoors. Which is really cool.
Yeah. So I think these systems are great for small scale. See the big massive farms that have tried this. I see a few have gone bankrupt recently, or they're struggling. If energy prices go up, now I'm willing to be corrected. What's your thoughts on these big, large scale farms that they're claiming can feed whole cities? using these big warehouses.
Yeah, yeah. And I've seen some succeed. Usually they're at greenhouses, which cuts back the energy cost. So to run them in a big warehouse, you need lights, and your profit can be eaten up pretty quick in just lighting the place, the energy costs. But I know a good sized tower garden farm in Colorado that does well. There are rooftop gardens on restaurants that do well too, because that would be outside where you don't need the cost of trying to light it. But really, with any kind of industry, you're gonna have some that fail, some that succeed.
Yeah, what I always found puzzling was that these were going to be the answers to what do you call them, urban food deserts. I was never quite sure that they were actually scalable. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. I'm just talking off just a few articles that I've read.
Yeah. And I haven't done anything personal at large scale. So what I would know would be anecdotal here, and what I've seen with other growers, what they're doing as well. But mine's all been small scale, very few individuals too. The bulk of it's been schools since 2015.
Yeah. And any plans for the future for the tower gardens?
Yeah, I talked today about doing a lunch and learn in the county next door with that Purdue Extension educator I mentioned. Tried to target restaurants and food banks. So I've got a tower garden in a local food bank through an organization that would like to expand other food banks with it. Indianapolis public schools have ordered tower gardens now. They're starting to get into it, which has been good. But yeah, we're trying to move as much as we can, and it's mostly through partnerships that I've had the success to have people in meetings where I never get into that bring up my name and that say, "Hey, you need to talk to this guy. He can help you out."
Yeah, so that's how we got introduced through Graham Thornton.
What's that?
I said we get introduced through Graham Thornton. Can't remember how he said it.
Graham Towerton.
Thornton, aye.
Yeah. Graham's been a great partner, good friend. We met a year or so ago through the networking platform Alignable, and he came through. I think it was me that reached out to him. I saw permaculture, and I thought, oh well, he's outdoor gardening, I'm indoor gardening. Maybe that'll work out well. So we connected and a Zoom call or two, and said, this could be a good partnership where he is incorporating tower gardens into designs that he has, because people up here want to grow indoors too. And I've been introducing him to especially Purdue Extension educators I know, and getting him platforms here in Indiana to speak. He's in November. He's going to be speaking here at a conference. We shared a space at a small farm conference a few months ago as exhibitors. So what did he?
So you mentioned earlier before we recorded there that Graham has introduced you to permaculture. What's your initial thoughts?
Oh, thoughts of permaculture?
Yeah,
I'd like to do it. I take care of, like I mentioned, I take care of the flower beds here at the community where we live, and there's so much grass. It's just wasted space. And I'd like to get them to use more of it to grow food for the community. It's a hard it's an uphill battle for sure. Now I was up to visit Graham, and he gave me 4 peach trees. So I planted them on the property around the house. I figure they're free peach trees. I'm going to try it, see what happens. just to try to get them to start growing their own food with it. But I love the idea. Like to do more of it. Like to see it really take off in this area. And Graham's definitely someone who can help me with that.
Yeah. So you have you plans for to expand your outdoor growing then on your own place?
Well, we're in an apartment. So,
Right. So where did you put the peach trees? Sorry.
Oh, the community where we live. It's a retirement community where we live. I'm not retired yet, but we moved in, so they have a lot of property here, and there's a house that they rent out. So I put the peach trees around that house, and I've got a lot of freedom with what I plant, what I can suggest, projects I bring up around the apartments that are here. And one of those was, hey guys, I got these peach trees. I can put them in here. They're like, yeah, that'd be great. So I'm slowly getting them into. There's a spot that they want to take out crushed limestone driveway. It's not very big, but I said let's put in wildflowers instead of grass. Try to move them away from a lawn where they have to dump chemicals on that lawn and fertilizer and weed kill and mow it. So, I'd like to get it back to a more natural landscape if we can.
Yeah, them chemicals are nasty.
They are, yeah. But I love growing from seed. It's just amazing to me how God put all the instructions in a tiny seed to grow a plant. Our daughter gave me a giant sequoia tree kit. And it had 8 seeds in it. She said, Dad, if anybody can grow these, you can. So there was definitely a challenge for me. So I read the directions, which is unusual for me to do, but I wanted them to succeed. Put them in the fridge for the required amount of time and got them out. And out of 8 seeds, 2 of them sprouted. So they're just these little tiny giant sequoia trees in a little container. So transplanted them to regular pots, and 1 survived. So I end up with a 1.5 foot tall giant sequoia tree in a pot on my porch. And they don't survive in northern Indiana. The winters are just too cold for them. Like, what am I going to do with this tree? So I, through a mutual friend, found a school in southern Indiana with a greenhouse that loved to get it. So we named it Big Red and gave that giant sequoia tree to the school in southern Indiana. But we've been out to California to visit our daughter and seen the 300-foot, 1,000-year-old giant sequoia trees. And it's just incredible to me that those 300-foot trees started with 1-inch seedlings that have grown for years.
Yeah. It's definitely mind blowing, and even when you get into it, that those seeds that have memory of where they came from. So if you take, it remembers climate, it sort of climatizes. I think they call it land racing, isn't it? Over the generations, then that seed becomes more used to its local area.
Yeah.
So it's quite amazing, just in a wee tiny seed. The instructions they.
It is, yeah. And it always grows the same plant. You don't get a corn plant out of a pea seed.
No.
Yeah.
Steve, is there anything we haven't covered in terms of tower gardening and indoor growing that we need to be? What kind of problems do you face at the start? Is there any troubleshooting you'd have to do to get the lighting and the nutrients right?
You can, yeah. Every once in a while, you can get insects if you're not careful, especially if you bring a potted plant in from the outside and put it next to it. That could be an issue. I had twice when their holes at the very top got clogged and water squirted out. So I learned to keep track of that. If you don't cover all the ports, you get algae in the water. There are things that I've learned by experience that I've ended up solving. And there's some, people think, well, I've got this system, I can do nothing to it and magically grow. But there are things you need to do to keep it going and to keep it growing well.
And are the lights on a timer?
Yeah. The lights are on a timer. The pump is on a timer. So it's set. And you can leave it for a week or so, go on vacation, come back, it'll be fine because it'll keep running. As long as you have enough water in the tub and the base to cover it.
Is there any final thoughts before we end the podcast here?
My advice to people who want to garden is just a garden. Just to start somewhere, whether that's outdoors in a pot, if you got a porch, whether it's in the ground somewhere, but start planting seeds, because you'll never know where it's going to go, how it's going to end up, and learn a lot, ask a lot of questions, and enjoy watching things grow.
Steve, thanks very much. Guys, that's been Steve Kuntz on the Permaculture Vine Podcast, and talking about indoor growing. I think it's definitely something every designer should have a look at and consider incorporating into their designs. We'll see you all next week. Cheers.
Okay. Thanks, Cormac.